when you can learn that the discomfort and growth are the exact same thing, you are golden.
Hello, everyone, everywhere. This is Bob Thibodeau with the Kingdom Crossroads podcast, and you are listening to the Going North podcast with my good friend Dom Brightman. Be sure to subscribe to his podcast so you will not miss any of the upcoming episodes, and be blessed in all that you do.
And today on the Going North podcast, where we're back at you again with another super special, awesome human from across the globe. Except this time, it's in the great state of the magical peaches known as Georgia. We got one heck of a guest for today, my friends. One heck of a guest for today, because this guest in particular, got to thank my good buddy Tammy Matheny for connecting me with this fabulous human right here, because she is freaking awesome. Check out her episode after listening to this wonderful guest right here, who is a psychotherapist that specializes in the treatment of drug and alcohol addiction, as well as many other addictions, and to actually really become the best versions of themselves, because he is himself an author, a speaker, as well as a super special, awesome man who has witnessed the metamorphosis that can happen to a person when they conquer their addiction, and helping as many people as possible experience that wonderful evolution. So let's give it up for Mr. CC himself, Mr. Clay Cuts. How you doing today, Clay?
Hey, Dom, doing great. How are you?
Doing great with 5 R's, baby. Doing great.
Yeah, I like it. Good to be here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's great to have you on. Great to have you on. Yes, indeed. Well, as you know, with all introductions, they're not allowed to be 57 days long. So mind filling in any cavities I missed about you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm a therapist. I work with folks. I got a private practice in the Atlanta area. I love working with men and women who are struggling with all sorts of things. Over the last couple of years, I've been transitioning more to coaching, which allows me to work with an even broader variety of challenges. I love seeing people win, love seeing people move forward. I love seeing the light bulb come on for people when they understand themselves and have some important insight. So that's sort of my professional life. Meanwhile, I'm a husband and I'm a dad. I have a daughter in she's a senior in high school, finishing up the worst senior year in the history of senior years in the middle of COVID. So real proud of her for soldiering through and getting it done. Yeah, and I enjoy reading and staying in shape and doing some outdoor stuff when I'm not doing those other things. I like to get it into the woods and find a mountain to walk up when I can. So that's sort of the fill in the blanks for you.
That's what I'm talking about. A mountain man himself, baby. That's right, climbing the mountains.
Just for a few hours at a time.
There we go. Soon there'll be a mountain named after you, Mount Clay. That's right.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's right, indeed. Hey, congrats to the little one of yours surviving the worst high school senior year of the modern era, baby. That's right. You got to graduate in your house, maybe outside your house.
Maybe so. Yeah.
That's right. They call your name over the Zoom cube.
Yeah, Zoom graduation, I guess. Yeah.
But hey, it's all good. It's all good. But hey, so what led to the transition to coaching? Was it the popular thing? Because there's a lot of coaches out there. Like, what led to that transition?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's funny. I think about it this way. For years, I was working with clients. Clients would show up with whatever was going on, with whatever they were struggling with, their addiction or their depression or anxiety or trauma or grief, or just sort of like the things that someone would normally go to a therapist for. And we would do some good work and dig in and move forward. And I would get people to where they were better, they were okay. And for the most part, people would say, "Thanks, Clay. It was great." And they would sort of go on with their lives, which is my goal. That's what I want for people to do. I don't want them to stay in therapy forever. But I had a few people that would say something like, "All right, that was great. What's next?" And I realized, I don't know. That's all I got. That's all the tricks I got. But I realized, Dom, that actually I did know what was next, and it was all the stuff that I've been working on myself. It was all the books that I've been reading and all the trainings that I go to and all the, the therapy I've done myself and all the self work I've done, all the philosophy and the spiritual work and all those growth pieces. So I just started teaching people that stuff, right? And I was like, I don't know if people are interested in this, but they were. And gosh, I was doing that for a couple of years, and I guess that look back on it now and realize, well, that's coaching. So I was like accidentally coaching people. I didn't know. And to be perfectly honest, I looked at the coaching industry. I like the term life coach, and I thought, oh, those are people that can't make it as a therapist, right? Or like judgy nonsense like that. But as I started looking at the industry, I realized, wow, there's some really sharp people, like really, really sharp people that are doing some incredible work that are not therapists and have no mental health training at all, but they're really, really creating transformation in people's lives all around the world. And I thought, okay, this is different than I thought. And so I started leaning into the coaching world a little bit more and sort of embracing what I've been doing and sort of adding some skill to what I was sort of naturally figuring out on my own. And so so that's how I got to be a coach.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed.
Yes,
And that probably gives you one heck of a edge too, because you actually are a trained licensed therapist with a master's.
I think so. I think that some of the basic skills translate. And I think one of the things that I'm able to do for clients is I can sort of evaluate when somebody calls me and say I may be interested in coaching, and I sort of walk through with them what's going on. I can discern, like, oh, is this a coaching situation or is this a therapy situation? Do we need to maybe, instead of coaching with me, do we maybe need to sort of work on finding a therapist in your area and get you some work in that area first, and then we'll maybe do some coaching later, or maybe you don't need the coaching after you do some therapy. And I think that's something that that I bring to the table that I think helps for sure at the very least.
That's what I'm talking about. So with that, do you believe? Well, not. I guess that's probably the wrong way to start that one. But has there been moments where it's like, okay, they've gone through the therapy and they may need coaching to get to their next level, or is it usually just one or the other, where it's like, oh, they get the coaching, they're good, or they may be a deeper situation where they need a therapy?
So I only practice therapy in my office in Atlanta, right? So I'm only working with people that are within whatever 15 miles or whatever the radius is that people drive. I don't know, but something like that, a reasonable 30-40 minute drive. So that's one of the discerning things. If somebody lives in, Michigan or Delaware, right, or Maryland or California, and they need therapy, I can't provide those services. I'm not licensed in those areas. When I coach somebody who's out of state, it's clearly a coaching client. But in terms of transitioning somebody from therapy to coaching, that doesn't necessarily happen a whole lot. Usually, because I bring everything to the table all the time. It's not, I'm not doing exactly the same things, but I'm like, my goal is to create transformation in the person, no matter what tools I use. So usually, if I provide one or the other, they sort of, I make sure they get where they want to be.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, Dean, it's great to be able to discern the difference in this. It sounds like you really have two like secret spaces like set aside. So it's like if it's therapy, it's going to be in the office, but if it's like something outside the office, like Zoom or whatever, it's going to be the coach, and you're going to get the clay cut special coaching going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, they're different businesses, different websites, different everything. Completely separate. Yeah, that's how I have it set up to make sure that it's an ethical question. I think that's another thing that I bring to the table as a coach is I bring my ethics training as a therapist, right? And sort of putting the needs of the client ahead of everything else. That's sort of like the golden rule for therapists. And so even though I don't necessarily have those strict requirements as a coach, because it's kind of the Wild West in coaching, I still hold myself to the highest standards that I can find, no matter what I'm doing. So, figuring out what's good for the client, best for the client is always what I'm focused on for sure.
There we go. That's right. The client's definitely high on the list, baby. That's right. That's right. Client centered, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All the magical C's indeed. So
Mhm.
in this wonderful, I guess at this point, someone maybe considered a past life. You have this fabulous book that talks about going beyond the bottle.
Yeah.
And it's a great small book for helping folks really overcome that addiction. So 9 powerful strategies to reclaim your life. And like one of my favorite things I underlined in the book was back then when you mentioned vision boards, you call them motion boards.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So is that still working out for you, my friend?
Yeah, I think that figuring out where you're going and finding creative ways to do it is really really important. And for me, I'm very very visual, and so I create in part for my vision. For one of the things I do is create, and I have my clients do this too. Is every beginning of every 12 weeks, really the beginning of each quarter, I create like a vision notebook that sort of that I use to practice believing powerful things to move me to the next level. And one of the tools that I use is I find images just from the internet and just put them in a Word document. And I used to like print them out and paste them, and now I just sort of do them all like digitally. And something I look at every morning before I really start my work day, and really sort of things that like stir me and move me and like motivate me to whatever I'm working on. And I like the visual. There's some written word too, but I like the visual because it creates a different part of my brain. And I want to create energy because I'm a real big believer in productivity and getting some important stuff done every day. It's really important to, I take days off, I take care of myself for sure. But if it's a work day, I'm getting stuff done. I mean, I've been going for, at this point, 16 hours today. It's a long,
Wow.
long day, but I've got a ton of stuff done, and having that clear vision in front of me every day is one of the ways that I really sort of get a lot done.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. High performance, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. My man's champion level, baby. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about indeed. So my goodness, that's really next level. So not only do you call them motion boards, you do them quarterly and have your clients do it quarterly as opposed to the once a year sort of thing, the New Year's resolution. It's he
Yeah.
actually focused on the 12 weeks. So what inspired that change?
I pick up things all over the place, Dom. Read books and go to classes and train. And sort of like it's a combination of some things I've picked up from different writers and different teachings, and throwing my sprinkled with my own flavoring of it all. But what I've found is that with an annual goal, it's fine to have annual goals, but what happens is we set January 2nd, we don't have any idea what October is going to be like. Now, 2020 is a great example. How many people created, goals on January 1st, and then all of a sudden mid-March hit? There's a
Yep.
bunch of crumpled sheets of paper going in the trash can on March 15th, right?
Yep.
Like the world ended, right? It's a great example. So when I have 4 opportunities to set goals throughout the year, if the worst case scenario is if my goals get completely off track 2.5 months in, I get to start all over again and set a whole new set of goals, for the next quarter. And so, I think of it in terms of sprinting. A year seems like forever. Like I got plenty of time to work on that goal, but 12 weeks doesn't, and it goes by fast, right? And so I got my revenue goal, or I got like weight loss goal, or I got my, whatever goal it is. There's different kinds of goals too. There's outcome and process goals, but that creates that sort of sense of like there's no time to waste. There's 12 weeks. There's 5 days in a week, so I got to get something done today and move towards this goal. And so and then I like push really hard for 12 weeks, and sort of take a week to kind of regroup, and then another really hard 12-week push. Do that 4 times a year, and it's really really worked out well for me.
That's what I'm talking about. Some 12-week year swag. It's definitely so right. Like a lot of folks, 2020, January 6th, like, yeah, this list of goals, I'm doing good. It's day 2. Haven't died yet, metaphorically. Like, yeah. Then March, it's like, oh, well, I guess I ain't marching. Well, time to stay home. Like,
Yeah, yeah, everything's out the window. Everybody's relearning how to do their everything, their business, their shopping, their schooling, everything for sure.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Heck, speaking of 2020, since you're alive, a big thing with a lot of folks is like, hey, if you didn't come out this pandemic with a new skill or a side hustle, then you wasted your time. So, with all that wonderful positive thinking, is there any skill or hobby that you picked up in the past, I guess, 12 months or so that have really helped you to really, heck, maybe even relax, detox, maybe even take yourself or your business to the next level?
Yeah, I've really reevaluated how I run my therapy business, and for a long time I was virtual only, but it's been such in Atlanta where I've been able to go back. And so I really split my time between the office and working from home. And it's funny, one of the things that I realized pretty quickly was that if I was going to be running my business from home, my wife was going to be running her business from home, and our daughter was going to be going to school from home, our little house seemed awfully small.
Yep.
And so I one of the things that I did is there's a shed in my backyard, and I renovated it to pull everything out, put in insulation, drywall, flooring, ceiling, heat and air, lighting, and it's now my office. And I'm talking to you from my former shed that is now my home office. So that's one really big thing that I did, sort of hobby wise, and it was fun. I'm trying to think in terms of running my business. I think one of the things that I really think is trending in the world now, like the age of the guru, I think is gone, and really I think people are just done with all that nonsense. And so one of the things that I've been sort of following for this last year and really sort of leaning into is I think this is like the age of connection, the age of communication, the age of sort of like authentically helping people. Maybe that's sort of always been the case, but like really deeply authentically helping people. And so I think that's sort of what I've been leaning into that more. Hopefully I've always helped people, but I mean, really been of true, deep, profound service to people. I've really shifted to making that the focus of my business. And that's really come out of this pandemic for sure.
Hey, well, that's freaking great. And you're so right about the whole guru thing. It's like there's a touch of that left in bits and pieces, but it's mostly gone for the most part because technology that has been gifted to us, like a lot of people are starting to be revealed. Like folks are just pulling behind the curtain there and just showing off what they're doing. And some folks, it may be in a bad way. You realize, oh, they may not be doing anything. They may not be the person you thought they were. And it's like, hey, you got to actually make sure you have a higher level discernment nowadays.
Sure, absolutely. Um, and I think it's for the better. I do. I mean, there's
Mhm.
sure plenty of people out there that are legitimate and forthright and really do create crazy amounts of value for people, and good for them. But I think that the people uh, who are more authentic are gonna be in a really good position over the next 5 or 10 years for sure.
Heck yeah, I can see that again. It's like, hey, you thought you were doing good, and then out of nowhere, somebody clip your feet from under you, like, oh shoot, I tripped, and then realize your face falls into some Legos, and you're like, oh dang, no, it's game over. It's game over. I gotta get back up, but these dang Legos.
Oh, the Legos, the Lego trap.
That's right. Then you realize, oh, I guess I gotta let go. Oh my goodness. All this wonderful age of connection where you're connecting with all these wonderful folks and giving them some of that genuine, authentic help. That GAH right there, that genuine, authentic help, the guy. Yeah, that. So, what are your plans for the coming year since you do all these wonderful 12-week years with your vision boards?
Yeah, so we're wrapping up here. We got a couple. What is it? Two weeks left in the quarter. So yeah, it's wrapping up here pretty fast. One week left in the 12-week year, and so um, it's time to look and see where I am. I had some pretty audacious, impossible goals for myself, and so I like to set impossible goals because I believe that everything was impossible for us at some point, right? And so one of the things I teach my clients is to not be afraid to set impossible goals. And so I'm setting up a new office, a new client-centered office over this next quarter. I'm going to be trying to bring some more clients on, create some more space for coaching clients, and really just sort of looking for bigger ways to have an impact in the world. And so, I'm still working on exactly what those goals will be. Frankly, I got to wrap up one 12-week year, evaluate, then sort of set my goals going forward. I have some bigger goals, year long and 5-year and 20-year goals that I'm working towards. But yeah, so it's always fun to figure out, like, what can I do over the next 12 weeks to really sort of help me take a step towards those bigger goals. So one of my friends, one of my author friends, that actually the person that introduced me to Tammy, who's the person that introduced me to you, wants me to write another book. So I'm thinking, that's in the back of my mind, always thinking about doing that. But I want to make sure if I do it, I give it the space that it deserves. And so I want to make sure I have the bandwidth to do that. So yeah, lots of cool things on my mind. Really just sort of focused mostly right now on helping my clients, find breakthrough, helping them find transformation, helping them create the change in their life that they want. So that's always my main focus.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Indeed, my man's got a new shiny shed to make it happen now too. That's right. That's right, indeed. With all the magical knowledge, baby. That's right. He's gonna be dropping them gems, baby. Gonna be dropping them gems. So, since this is far from your first rodeo, is there a question that you wish to be asked more often when you're in the guest seat of these interviews?
That's a good question. The question that I would ask, or that I would like to have asked, is who needs a coach? And I think the answer to that, I'm sure the answer to that is nobody. Right? Nobody needs a coach. Coaching is definitely, for me, the way I think about coaching is it's for two types of people. It's for people who have a problem and for people who have a dream, right? And so everybody has a problem, everybody has a dream. And coaching is I'm such a believer in coaching. I have I coach myself. I invest in myself. I spend tons of money on coaching because I think it's so powerful. And so what I want people to know is that coaching is for people who want something different in their life. It's not for people who are broken. It's not for people who need to be fixed. None of that. It's a voluntary undertaking for people who just want to move to the next level. And so that's why I say nobody, it's fine. Like, if you want to stay where you are, that's totally fine. You're awesome how you are, whoever you are. But if you want to move forward, coaching might help.
There you go. That's that truthful contrarian answer. Yesterday, I thought man's about to say, "Oh, everybody needs a coach." Everybody needs it. Yeah, you want to be the best couch potato? I got a coach just for you, baby. That's right.
I mean, me, I'm pretty good at being a couch potato.
Heck, even with everybody being at home, it's like, man, the couch is taken. Maybe I should be an office chair potato.
There you go.
But hey, that's definitely powerful, though. Anybody who has a problem or a dream, heck, even both. And like, really, if you have a dream, you're going to be facing problems and issues on the way, and just teaming up with people who can help you get that solution to get you close to that dream. Like, that's one heck of a thing. So that's a rock solid gem, my man.
Yeah. I mean, I want everybody to be working on a dream. I want everybody to be working on a dream that scares the crap out of them. I want people to be working on a dream that's makes them uncomfortable and makes them squirm a little bit. That's what I want for people. Because I tell you what, when you can learn to tolerate that discomfort, when you can learn that the discomfort and growth are the exact same thing, you are golden.
Heck, man, you can say that again.
Growth
Never can say that
only,
again.
growth only happens within the context of challenge and difficulty.
Oh, yeah. That's right. My man's been leaving a tennis bracelet of wisdom for you folks who've been listening. My friends, better be taking some notes, baby. Better be taking some notes, baby. Because this second book's going to be fire, baby. I'm telling you. It's going to be a whole big incandescent ordeal of a giant inferno, baby. Got to catch that clay cuts fire, baby. That's right. That's right, indeed. So we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but this time in the current year of 2021 with all of your amassed knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself?
My advice I would give myself is find opportunity, get busy. Difficult times create opportunity, and I would tell my 25-year-old self, you have more energy now than you will ever have in your whole life. So use it, find opportunity, and figure out a way to help people get what they need.
There we go. There we go. That's right. If we had mics, my man would have been dropping them, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about indeed. So for those who want some of that good square peg coaching goodness and keep up with all the stuff that you're doing, especially book number 2 that'll be out in the coming months, if not the year or so, maybe, what's the best way for folks to reach out to the wonderful CC himself?
Yeah, probably just through my website is just my name, claycuts.com. There's some information you can read about me and what I've got going on, some resources there. Also, a page where you can contact me, and if you reach out through there, I will absolutely get back to you.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. So head over to that claycuts.com, baby. That's right, claycuts.com. He'll cut the edges around your issue and help get you to that next level in advance, folks. I'm telling you, reach out to him. Check out his stuff. Heck, even check out the link to his old book in the show notes. And then when book 2 comes out, you'll be like, God dang, my man improved, baby. My man took this freaking rock and found the gold, baby. I'm telling you, pick it up like a library book. It'll change your life. Change your life like 50,000 quarters. I'm telling you. Definitely change your life indeed. So any parting words before we close up shop?
I guess the thing I want everybody to know, and every time I get a chance to say this in public, I do. One is that taking care of your mental health is critically important. And I just invite everyone to rethink how they perceive mental health. Even today, there's still a stigma against it. And it's getting better, but we have some room to improve. Embrace your own mental health and embrace the people in your life who are struggling with mental health. My dream is for a generation from now, going to the therapist is just as normal as going to the dentist, right? And so the other thing I want to say to people whenever I get a chance to in public is that somebody's out there listening, and I want you to know that you're worthwhile and you're valuable, and it's not because of anything you do or anything you create or anything you say. It's just because you are. And so somebody's out there needs to hear that. I want them to hear it from me tonight.
How's it going, you super special, awesome human? Since you made it to the end of this episode, it looks like you really enjoyed yourself. Since you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share with at least 3 people in your network and tell them what you really liked about this episode. Heck, even shoot myself or the guest an email and let them know what you liked most about this interview so that way they can stay inspired to keep pushing out great work.